All right, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another setups video. Before we get into it, I just want to say thank you guys so much. The YouTube is at 2,123 subscribers or somewhere around that area, and I'm honestly mind blown, man. I was mind blown when it hit 1,000. I was mind blown even more now that it's at 2,000. I feel like the growth rate has just been crazy. So I really do appreciate all of that. Thank you guys thank you to everyone who's joined the Discord, to who's ever, liked, commented, just show love on the channel, man. I really do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Now, let's jump into the video. These are all the setups that I'm looking for this upcoming week. It is listed in, like, I guess you could say the best ones that I'm looking for to the worst. I feel like, we have some good setups, nothing that I'm really too in love with, maybe except for the first two. But I definitely think they could play out and, we could see some profit from the market. So the first one is NZD CHF. Let's go ahead and see how we're looking on the weekly. The weekly is bearish. And I already had the area of interest and all that stuff marked out because I sort of did this earlier today just to make this video go a little more smooth. But you see here, this area of interest is on the daily. So you see here we have the weekly bearish. The daily is going to be bearish as well. I would put my lines somewhere around here. Right. And then for the area of interest, we have one touch, two. And if we scroll back, three touch right here. This is what I'm counting, right? So we have the weekly bearish, the daily bearish. So we're not really too focused on what the 4 hour is doing, but if we need price to get up here, then the 4 hour would then go bullish, which doesn't matter. So overall, this is just what I'm looking at. I feel like I really like this level right here that you could sort of see as a head and shoulders. And then now that price has closed under, we could potentially look for it to retest, to then continue to the downside. Not only that, but we have this EMA right here. All right, sorry if you heard my washer and dryer going in the first few minutes. I had to turn that off. But as I was mentioning, we have this EMA right here, which I like. And then my targets will be something like this. Look to be targeting it down here. If we scroll out, it looks like we might have to go to the weekly. Yeah, it looks like we haven't been down here in this zone in a minute. So that kind of makes it a little difficult to target a take profit as far as on structure. So for this trade, this might have to just be one where I go like 1 to 3, right? So 1 to 3 is around here. But I'm not gonna lie. If I see it pushing down, then I'm definitely gonna try to get this 1 to 5 and for it to come back to the structure. It's just that when it touched here, price, as you see, had a big retracement back up. So if it comes back, oh, this is a little cluttered. So if it comes down, I'm gonna first look at it at the 1 to 3, see how it's moving. And as soon as it touches here, I'm probably gonna get out. If it touches here, because I don't want it to do the same exact thing that it did, me trying to set, forget, and hold, and then it comes all the way back up, because that would be sick. But NZD CHF is my #1 pair. I just like the way it looks, honestly. When I first clicked on it, I was like, yeah, that kind of looks clean. You know what I'm saying? As I had mentioned before, this just looks hella clean to me. And it looks like it'll just be a simple retest to then continue to the downside. Plus, we have the weekly and daily bearish. Price is under the EMA. Daily is looking like it could be potentially used as resistance. So yeah, I really like this one. Next one is EUR AUD. As you see here on the weekly, we're still bullish because we're still in this range. On the daily, we're bullish as well. If you remember, I had a area of interest around this area last time, but you see price just didn't come back to it, which is cool. So I was still looking, and I noticed that we have another pretty strong area of interest here. We have 1 touch, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? And again, the area of interest is just when the market has hit a spot and rejected from it, either to the upside or to the downside, right? It's just big rejections from it. You see price came into the zone, went up. Price came up into the zone, pushed down. Price came up into the zone, pushed down. Same thing over here. Price came to the zone, pushed up, right? So when it comes back into the zone, I'll just be looking for it to do the same exact thing. Come into the zone, push up. Not only that, but we do see that price had already came into the zone last week. It was in the zone. You can use this as rejection candle if you want to. Now, I'm not saying that price will come into the zone again all in one day and then reject the same day, right? Excuse me. We might get in this upcoming week price to come into the zone and then maybe give us a little doji and whatnot and then end up shooting up, right? That's very possible. Of course, there will be wicks here. So that's just something to look at. Or it can come into the zone and push up, right? We don't know. We just got to monitor it. Now, going back to areas of interest, I know some people are asking what this square box is. If you go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, if you go down 6 places and you just go down to shapes, this is what it is. It's just a rectangle. Once you find it, then you just favorite it and then it'll pop up here. But it's just a rectangular box. Now, let me look to the lower time frames. Okay, the 30 is still bearish, so I'm still expecting it to come down into the zone. Hopefully give me a shift of structure. And then that's when we'd hop in. Stops would be below wherever structure's at. And then, of course, I would be most likely targeting up here. Super simple. And again, the more you do it, the more simpler it gets, the easier you'll be able to see things. Right now, I'm just looking to see if there's any structure at this area that would cause me to maybe get out a little earlier, but no, I don't see it. I think I see it more up here. Like this area. And it's just the same thing. Touch, and then price pull or push down. Touch, then price push down. Touch, and then price push down, right? Same thing. And then you get the same thing over here. Touch, and then price push down. Touch, and then price push down. Oh, shit. So the same thing you're looking at for areas of interest when you're wanting price to come back into a zone to take the trade is the same thing you're looking at when you want price or when you're in a trade and you're looking to get out of the trade, right? You're just looking for places that price you can see a push down from price. And I mean, you have this one right here. Price came into the zone, push down heavy. Very simple, very easy. So I'll actually put a line here. Just so that I know that I could potentially see price. Like if price comes up here, if I'm in a trade, to get out at that area, which is 132 pips. You should be good. Okay, next one is Euro GBP. Now, this is, well, let's start on the weekly first. This is bullish. This is how we were looking last week. Price ended up breaking out of this zone. Or not breaking out the zone, but creating a higher high. So then we just move our lines. And this is how we're looking. So the weekly is bullish. Daily is bullish because we're just doing the same thing. This is where we're at. Price ended up making a new higher high. So then we just move our lines. Daily's bullish. And this area of interest is on the daily. Same thing I'd been mentioning. Price came, gave us a big push down. Price came, gave us a push up, came back again, gave us an even bigger push up. If you scroll to the left, you see similar things. Came, push up. Came to the zone, push down. Came to the zone, push up, right? It's everywhere. That's how you identify if it's a strong area of support resistance. And if it is, then you just mark it up with the rectangular box, and there you have your area of interest. Now, since we did close under, you see how we close under the box? What I'll be looking for is for a daily candle to close above. Once it does that, I'll then be looking for, as I mentioned before, probably in this case, a wick entry. I'll just be looking for a wick entry on the next day to then take price up, much like we did on CAD JPY and NZD USD, 2 weeks ago? And then if we get that, we'll just put our stops under there, depending where structure is. And then, honestly, we might just go 1 to 3 here. Or if you want to set and forget for more, you can do that as well. Now, when I say a wick entry, I still want to see price give me a shift of structure. So let's say it came up here and we're on the 15 minutes. So let's say the next day, I want to see something like that, and I want to see price go bearish on the 15. So that way, when it's in the zone and this is going to be on the wick, right, it has to create a wick and push back down before it pushes up. So on the wick, I want to see another shift of structure with my engulfing candle. And then that's when I would enter to look to take price up, to look for the daily just to continue higher. That might be a little confusing, but the more you see it and the more you do it, it'll make sense. What we would enter in is just price opening would come down. We'd enter on this wick, right? So it would be like this. We'd enter, and then price would continue up. It is good though. I really like it. I think, if we get that close above this area of interest, then that can happen. If not, then we just analyze and move on to another pair. Now, NZD CAD, I took a trade on here last week and ended up losing. Actually, I took 2 trades last week and lost on both. So I'll probably break those down. That video will probably come out Wednesday, so stay tuned for that. But I just analyzed that maybe my area of interest wasn't at the correct spot, which it happens, right? We're all human. We all see one thing, we think it's the right spot. The market may not be respecting that spot. So my area of interest was not a lot lower, but I think it was somewhere maybe around here or something like that, with this rejection here, and to the left. But I just re-looked at the chart, noticed that, okay, this might be a better area. We have right here, touch right there, big touch right here. One right here. 2 in this area. Right? So you see it's in my opinion, a stronger level of support and resistance that we could potentially see price react from, as it's done multiple times in the past. So now that it's here in this area, I like it a lot better, to be honest, because the weekly's still bearish. Weekly's still bearish. Daily's bearish as well. Right? We never made a new low, so this is still the area that we mark up. Not only that, we are closer to the EMA, which is good. Just gives us a confluence closer to the EMA. And we are just at a stronger area of interest. Super clean. Really nothing too hard about it. Now the 4 hour is bullish, and the 1 hour is bullish, and the 30 and the 15. So of course I would have to see some type of structure. Maybe it creates a new high, then gives us a shift of structure, right? And then if that's the case, then you just enter here. Or maybe it doesn't do that and price continues up, right? Maybe it just continues up, or price just melts down. We don't know. We don't know what the market's going to do. This is a crazy week with elections coming up. So, I mean, somebody had asked me if I'm going to be trading during the elections, and I said, if it has a USD pair in it, then probably not. But all the other ones, I don't see why. If I see an entry, I want to hop into a trade. So, but the targets will be the same. I just have my stop somewhere up there, and then I'll be looking to probably target this low right here, which is 3.58 risk to reward. Pretty good. Okay, Euro NZD. I also took a loss on the other trade was AUD JPY, but as I mentioned earlier, be on the lookout for a video of me breaking that down. Euro NZD. We could get rid of some of these boxes. On the weekly, we're bullish. As you see, we're still in this range right here. So the weekly is bullish. Daily is bullish as well. That's how we're looking. And so in this range, I'm just looking for an area of interest. So what I had marked up, I think I marked this up like last week or something like that, because I don't remember doing it this week. But big push down, right? And all you need is 3 touches. If you have more than 3, that's great. But 3 touches is perfectly fine. You could count this as a touch and then a push down, even though it pushed up. And then this one right here. See, so now we're getting to the ones that, you know, they're okay, but they're not my favorite. But, you know, they still could potentially play out the way we're thinking. So in this case, do I think this will happen this week? I'm not sure. But price, what we're looking for is for price to come back into this area, give us an entry signal, shift of structure, engulfing, and then take it back up. Not only that, EMA is right here. Could potentially be used as support. But again, let me see how far this is. 147 pips. It could happen. It can't. I don't think, to be honest, that we'll see, because it took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. So it might take 5 days to come back down, which means this would probably be something we could be looking at for not this upcoming week, but the next week. But it is on my radar, so we'll see how it plays out. And the last one is USDCAD. So if you remember from last week's video, we did break out of this little zone, channel, ranging, whatever you want to call it. We broke out of this to the upside, right? So I was just looking for price to come back, retest all these areas that it has done multiple times when it came up and then pushed down, came up, pushed down, came up, pushed down. So now that we're finally above, I'll be looking for price to come back and retest this area to continue us to the upside. Like, if there's any pair or any way to show how clean an area of interest could be, it's literally this one. Every time it came into the zone, it dropped. Came into the zone, dropped. Came into the zone, dropped. So now that we're above the zone, we just use it as support. Super simple. Like, I promise you, it is so easy. It is so easy. But it just takes practice, as I mentioned before, and training your eyes. The daily, we are bullish, easy to tell, right? There's nothing really, no really structure that you can mark up besides this one. So right now, we would look something like this. And then, again, we'd just be looking for price to come back into the zone, give us our entry signal, something like that. And I mean, you go 1 to 3 because there's really no structure up here, if I'm not mistaken. I know there is, but it's pretty far from where we're at. So super simple. Now, again, do I think that price is coming back this week? I don't know. It could, right? Let me see how far this is. 75 pips. It could for sure. But if it doesn't come back this week, then I'm going to be looking forward to come back next week, right? Because it has to have a pullback. And I'm expecting a pullback to come right back into the zone. But this is also a USD pair, so with elections coming out and everything could go crazy, could shoot up, could shoot down. So we'll probably be on the sidelines for that one, unless you want to be a daredevil, risk your whole account, but I'm not doing that. But anyways, that is the pairs that I'm looking for in this upcoming week. Let me know down in the comments what you guys are trading, if the pairs are similar, if the pairs are different. If I missed a pair, let me know so I can check them out on my own time. Be sure to join the Discord, man. The Discord is growing. We got hella traders in there, man. They're all helping each other out, all sending trade ideas, helping each other out with structure, with area of interest. A really cool community, bro. I'm not going to lie. Probably the best community I've ever seen. Because, I mean, I've been in communities and other people, a lot of people aren't talking, or, people have ego issues and stuff like that. From what I've seen, it's been straight chill. Everybody's helping each other out. Everybody wants to see each other grow because we're all on the same journey and we don't have any time to be bashing other people and stuff like that. So I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, I thank you guys so much for 2,000 subscribers. I really do appreciate it. All glory to the Most High. Let's keep growing it, and let's all keep making money from the markets. So I'll catch you guys next week. I'm out.